What if I told you there was a play-to-earn game in the works that no one is thinking of right now in crypto that could potentially sit side by side with some of the top play-to-earn tokens today? Welcome back to another episode of Decentralized Chain. If this is the first time you're tuning in and you like to stay ahead of crypto, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you want alpha before it hits YouTube, make sure to join our Telegram channel to get it first. So, we have all heard of World of Warcraft. It's one of the most popular MMORPGs out there with an enormous fan base. With the success of play to earn, more and more games appear on blockchain, yet no one has created a 3D MMORPG for the Metaverse yet. This is where Kaokuma comes in, an enchanting action role-playing blockchain game. It is being built on Binance Smart Chain and Solana, and let's be honest, if it was built on Ethereum, given the gas fees and its current speed, it would be less about play to earn and more about play to get broke. So Solana and BSC is the choice here for its speed and near zero fees, which makes it enjoyable, right? And you're actually playing to earn. To further emphasize the reach of the audience, they will be launching the game on PC, Android, and iOS. And this gives it maximum coverage and accessibility to all. All in-game items and creatures are blockchain-based tokens and NFTs. The gameplay looks pretty cool. If they look familiar to you, you can see elements of the classics like World of Warcraft and Diablo at play here, clearly drawing on inspiration from some of the heavy hitters. Now, we're all fond of nostalgia, and the Diablo series were my favorite games growing up. Players will be immersed in a fantasy continent called Laria, and if the gaming is like anything before it, you'll most likely be spending hours gathering materials, creating equipment, collecting equipment, and teaming up with other players and friends and exploring dungeons whilst killing all those monsters, and at the same time getting tokens and NFT rewards. So let's have a look at some of the in-game current elements just to understand a bit more about what this is all about. So when we tune in, their website's great, actually. If you check it out, they've got plenty of information on the site. So when you do tune in, there's lots to kind of go through. But let's focus a bit more in terms of the equipment. So when you look at the equipment, we've got weapons, we've got necklaces, helmets, bottoms, gloves, shoes, you name it. And the best part about all of these elements is that all the equipment, first of all, is stored as an NFT on chain. And what that really means, and you can start getting to it as well, right? NFTs, you can sell the equipments because the equipments will have rarities, they'll have upgrades, so they'll always increase in value. And I don't know if you recall, but when Diablo 3 came out, they actually built what I would say is it was certainly one of the first times that I'd seen it back in 2013, which was that you could actually sell your equipments within the actual marketplace. They soon put a stop to it because they felt that it was kind of moving away in terms of from the gameplay and more into people making money. But let's be honest, within sort of blockchain space, these play to earns, they have, a double fold. And I think we've moved on significantly since 2013. Now, the other thing is with all the equipment, there's attributes just like Diablo, just like World of Warcraft. They'll have classes, they'll have attacks, they'll have, a certain story behind it. And depending on how these weapons are forged, because you can actually forge it with, the Heart of Lava, KKMA tokens, which is the actual native token, as well as BOD, which is the in-game token in the game as well. And the idea behind that is that then you'll be able to forge better weapons, more rare weapons, and then ultimately, depending on which way you want to play, you either carry on battling, killing people, and obviously getting rewarded, or you can sell it to somebody else. You may want to do more of the play to earn type of stuff from it as well. Interestingly enough, the same goes with spells. You've got spells, you've got different ways that they can be broken down. And once again, they have various components: split, bounce, ignite, dart, fireball, explosion. You can see from some of the gameplay how some of that spell actually works. But the idea is that you can combine elements together in order to kind of form better spells, basically. Then the last bit that I kind of want to just draw our attention to in terms of the actual gameplay, you've got various characters, and I kind of mentioned before, exploring, gathering, you've got collecting, battling, crafting, as well as exploring the big world elements. Now, let's talk a bit more about the whole play to earn piece. So the idea is play to earn. You play and you can earn from it. So while you're having fun, you're also getting paid to a certain extent. And the idea is that you can earn rewards, whether you're exploring various parts in Laria, whether you're battling others in tournaments, so you're kind of getting token rewards from there, challenges, finding and collecting equipment. Some people will just naturally just roam around the gameplay in order to actually just find equipment, collect it all. Maybe you might get lucky, you might find rare things, or you just might want to go ahead and start forging and selling them. All right, there's a lot of stuff to do here. In-game quests, buy and sell spell runes as well. So as we mentioned before, if you kind of make your spells, if you have a pretty cool one, you have the ability to then go ahead and sell it, right? Because all of these are manifested as NFTs. So you can always actually sell it on. Now, in terms of the tokenomics, it's a pretty interesting split, actually. I quite like it. So the native token is the KKMA tokens. Obviously, that is what's going to be traded in the outside world, in exchanges, etc. You'll also need that in-game in order to forge. And then also there is the BOD token, which is the native in-game tokens as well that you'll need to use. Now, the interesting thing that I do like about this, right, actually, is first of all, you've got seed, private, and public. Now, in terms of the actual prices, they're not too far off. Fine, the seed guys pretty much get the public sale at half the price. But bear in mind that there are some significant locks in place. In fact, seed gets 7.5% on the actual TGE event, private get 10%, and then public get 100% linear vested over 5 months. But the rest of the 92.5% and 90% are respectively linear vesting over 18 months and 15 months. So can you see a massive dump coming? I don't think so. It seems to be pretty controlled. And really, I wouldn't necessarily see anybody dumping straight away. Certainly with these types of token metrics in place, it's kind of almost to a certain extent anti-dump to stop that from happening and crashing the price, because nobody really wants that at the end of the day. Now, interestingly enough, as I mentioned before, from a tokenomics perspective, you've got the primary token, which is KKMA. So that's for in-game purchases. And then as you complete quests, all of those, good stuff inside the game, you also get the $bod token as well, which is the play to earn rewards that you get within that. Now, in terms of the actual project itself, where they are, stage one, concept's done. In fact, if you go and check out their socials, you'll see plenty of gameplay already sort of hosted out there in terms of what they're developing. Websites already been launched. There's plenty of marketing partnerships going on at the moment. And so if you check out their Twitter, you'll see plenty of partnerships that they've actually announced most recently, team expansions, as well as the kind of in technical beta testing. Now, we've still got a fair bit to go in terms of stage 3 and stage 4. So certainly, more strategic marketing, closing, beta testing, they obviously need to implement the Rune system. But if based on the gameplay in terms of what we've seen, based on the actual gaming mechanisms that they've implemented, I don't see why this couldn't be really the next addictive gameplay really here. And considering that they're kind of looking at really expanding the way play to earn is today and going on to sort of mass multiplayer space, if they can break some of that market, I genuinely feel that you have a pretty decent game on your hands, because they're certainly, I would say, drawing on the classics that we've seen before and, bringing it into the blockchain era, which is what we kind of need to do. But anyway, this is my overall review of the project. Let me know what you think below. Is this something that you would be interested in playing or not? What do you think of it? Let me know. I'd grab to hear it. And obviously, guys, if you find this type of content useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, drop a comment below, even if you don't want to, right? All of this kind of just helps expand the channel as a whole. And come on over and join us in the Telegram. Plenty of alpha, plenty of conversation. You have access to me in there as well. Any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. So I will see you on the next one.